Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in. 256 Garage here. We've got a 2015 F150, got the 5.0 Coyote in it. Needs a radiator. Something got cracked on the radiator. So we've got a brand new one over here. Not 100% sure where it come from, but when I find that out, I'll let you know. Anyway, we're gonna get started pulling it out. I'm gonna show you how to. Gonna start removing everything, get the old one out and the new one in, and we're gonna carry you along with us. Okay, first thing we want to do is get all our plastic out of the way and our reservoir, but we're gonna start by getting all the plastics out of the way. You gotta get these little clips right here. You can see that one's already loose. Let me try one. It's a little hard to do this with one hand here, but I'm gonna show you. But if you get you one of these right here, I don't know what the correct term for it is. I call it a clip removal tool. But get you one of them, man, they come out a lot easier. But anyway, we're gonna get all the plastics out of the way, and that'll get us down to the radiator. Taking our reservoir loose, get our breather out of the way. Now I'll go ahead and tell you, these four-wheel drives with these push bars on front of them, our brush guard, I guess you call it. They sure are tough to work on. When you're taking your hoses off, be very careful, because this plastic, when it's hot and cold, it gets brittle, and you'll break one of these plastic things if you ain't careful. Loose anyway. Okay, we've got the cover off, the breather tube out of the way. We're gonna get the box out of the way. We'll get this pulled loose, the whole thing. But we're gonna find us a pan right quick so we can go ahead and drain our antifreeze, because we're gonna get that antifreeze drained so it don't go all over the floor. Okay, and your breather, you got one bolt here you gotta take out, and then the other part is just a plug or stud inside a grommet, I guess you call it. Pops out. See right there, them two on the bottom. And that'll get the breather out of your way. And some of this stuff, sometimes you can kind of work around, but a lot of times it's just best to get it all out of your way. See how much access we got to the radiator right there now? So now we'll be able, when we get it drained, we'll be able to get our fans and stuff took loose, hoses loose, set the thing right out. Okay, we're gonna get our radiator out here from Rock Auto. They sent it to us, got it here pretty fast. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out. Take a look at it. Make sure everything looks good. I'll lay this down. That way we can lay it on it. Okay, so there's the radiator. Everything looks good. We'll get ready to put it on. See our drains on that side. We can slide under it and see if we can get our drain loose. Get this thing in. We just want to check it out, make sure everything looked good before we got too far. Pull it out and something be wrong, then we'd have to do something different. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it up in there, but right up in there is our drain. We're going to slip a little hose on it, and then we'll open the valve and we'll drain it into this jug. Okay, we got the hose up on it. Now we're going to stick the screwdriver up in there and loosen the valve. Kind of hard to fit everything up in here. Open it up. And then we got the hose running down into our jug. And the antifreeze going inside it. That'll keep from making too big a mess anyway. Okay, as you can see, we got the jug under it, getting everything drained out of it. We got the tank emptied, so we're gonna go ahead and take it off the rest of the way. You got the little wire clip right here, and that'll loosen that hose. Then we'll get it out of the way, and we'll start taking our upper radiator hose off. It kind of works the same way. Got the squeeze clamp on it, and then just take it off on this end. Wires on that end, but we'll leave it on that size right there. We don't want to take them off if we don't have to, because they like to try to leak. So we'll get it pulled off, and then we'll start taking our bolts out. Okay, you also got your get the light down here where you can see the wire loom is got pinned into the fan. You want to pull them loose so you don't break no wires. I think there's about 2 plugs. Take them loose and get your wiring harness out of the way, and we're going to pull the fan assembly out with the radiator, and then we'll mount it all to the radiator and mount it back in. Okay, if you ain't ever took these type loose before, there's just a little wire slides down. Kind of get under it, and it'll pull down like that, and then I'll just work it off like that right there. Just leave your hose hooked to your radiator, and the same on the bottom over here. Lifts up. Work your hose off. Okay, now it's got all the hoses loose, all the wires loose. We got 2 bolts right here, 1 on each side. Okay, we got everything unhooked on the radiator. Now it's time to get the condenser and stuff loose. We're gonna have to pull this off. Should have went ahead and pulled this off in the first place. That would have made it easier to get to the other stuff. But we got to pull the push bar, well, brush guard, I guess you call it, off. Get the grill out. That way we can get to the bolts that go back in through this way to get the condenser loose, so we can set the radiator and stuff out. A little more complicated. Okay, now we won't put that back on until we're completely finished. Make life a lot easier. That way you can get up to the truck. slide the grill out. Now we can see everything is bolted. You got 2 more bolts here for your condenser and this transmission cooler. One on this side, then everything will slide. All that because them 2 bolts are slid in right there, are bolted in. Get them, well, 3 bolts, 2 bolts, one on the bottom there. Get them, thing will come out, radiator will be out.
Long day. Trying to go home and help Steph and get ready. Her family is Christmas.
You ready to get?
I'm ready for it. Well, come out a lot easier.
That's how you do it.
You got it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, we got everything moved over to the new one. We're gonna try and work it back in the hole.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, wish us luck. Especially since I'm on the side out there. I don't remember who's on what side now.
Who's on first?
Okay, there it goes. Whew, I was about to say, too big or too short. All right, there it is. Job done. Woo, come get it. Okay, we got the radiator back in the hole. Got it in place. Putting the condenser and the transmission cooler and everything, bolting it back on it. And then just reverse all the steps. Fan, plug up all your fans, your wires, looms, put them back in the hole, the holders. Bolt your radiator down, grill back in, all that. Okay, if you can see back down in there, it's kind of dark. We got our lower hose hooked up. We got all our wire looms clipped back in. Got the fans plugged in. So we've got everything on the back side except this top radiator hose. And I'll show you that right quick. See how it just pushes on and clips in place. When you put that wire back in place, it just snaps on and it's hooked back up. So now we go back to put our grill, snap our headlights in, and before we put the push bar back on, or the brush guard, we're going to crank it up, get our tank, everything hooked up, make sure everything runs, let it run for a while, everything's good, full, and then we'll put it back on. Alright, here it is. How to install a radiator on a 2015 F150 with a Coyote. We've got all our hoses hooked back up. You got an upper, lower, this hose, the bypass hose over there. Got to take the grill out, remember, to take the bolts out of the transmission cooler and the AC condenser. Slides out. Then you slide the whole thing out. Got all our fans plugged back up. Got all our bolts back in the, got our fan in place and the bolts back in it. Everything's hooked up. Breather all's back on. All our little clips are back in. Make sure you get all them clips back in. A lot of people like to leave some of them out, but you'll have something flopping and you'll be wondering what it is, and it'll be all because you didn't put a clip back in it. So we got all them back in. Everything's tight. We're fixing to fill it up with antifreeze. Let her run. Get all the air out of the system and it'll be ready to go. All right, here it is. We got the radiator in. Everything's good, running, got it full. Antifreeze is topped off. So that's how you put a radiator in a 2015 F-150. Thanks everyone for tuning in. 256 Garage out.